Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're going to be talking about Standard, Universes Beyond, Commander Masters, Gone, and more. So I wasn't sure entirely if I wanted to make a video about all this kind of stuff, about my actual thoughts about it. Generally, I kind of just report what the news is and kind of don't give too many of my thoughts about stuff. But I thought that I would ask you guys just in case. Like, I'm not exactly a big kind of Magic content creator, so I wasn't sure how much people cared about my opinion, or if you guys want to, or you just want to open up like the floodgates to be able to comment down below and tell me how awful I am or anything. But I asked you guys, 63% of people said that they were interested, 22% were neutral. So generally when this is the case, I just say, hey, 22%, I'll just put some of you guys up there kind of thing. And yeah, more than half the people interested. So we'll see what you guys think. Anyway, so we're going to go through what was changed, and everything. And then I'm going to go through each one individually. So these were all announced at MagicCon Las Vegas last month. Huge changes to Standard and Magic as a whole starting next year. That's the thing to keep in mind here, is that it's not just Standard that's changing. It is Magic the Gathering as a whole. So a few things before I start. Keep your opinions civil down in the comments below, whether you agree, disagree, whatever. Don't attack people, whether it's myself or anyone else that's commenting or anything. And please just wait until you finish the video before you comment down below. The amount of times that people watch and then they get to a point and I say something you don't agree with and you go down there and comment and I'm like, did you finish the video? Like I said other stuff about it. I also feel that personally all the changes have been muddled together and everyone's kind of looking at them all as a big whole, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think we can grab all these changes and just group them all together and be like, here is this, what do you guys think about this? When it could be like, what do you think about this part of it, this part of it, this part of it, which is the individual parts they can change, rather than trying to be like, okay, we're just going to take this, we're going to pull it all apart, and it's gone. Like, there's some parts of it we can keep, some parts of it we can look at, some parts of it we address, some parts we scrap. So, what's actually changed? First of all, there's going to be six, wow, I can't put up six fingers, 6 standard legal sets per year from now on. So that means that the 6 tentpole sets, so that means the full sets released, are all going to be standard legal from now on, they said. So it's very unlikely that they're going to be doing non-standard or eternal, not eternal, sorry, standard legal sets. So, no or less Modern Horizons, Commander Masters, kind of stuff, just standard. There's going to be new Universe Beyond sets are going to be legal in all formats, which means from standard backwards, standard, modern, Commander, Eternal, Legacy, whatever. I think Legacy, I don't remember what Legacy is. 50% of sets going forward will also be Universes Beyond, and 50% Magic Multiverse. So that means that I'll show you guys the actual picture in a minute to give you a better idea about that. The rotation happens at the start of the year instead of in fall. So, come January 1st, as of 2027, the one from 2026, the rotation for 2026 got pushed back a little bit, and 2077, bam, things rotate out. I believe it's going to be, or did they move it forward? I can't remember if they moved it forward or back. Either way, there's going to be sets that rotate at the start, January 1st instead, and then also MSRP returns. So these are all separate points. As I said, I want to address them relatively separately again, because I think that, doing this does not necessarily go with this, and this does not go with this, right? Like, you can separate these all out and change individual gears to kind of, suit it better. So this is what I said about the roadmap for next year. So we've got 3 Magic Multiverse sets. So that's Aether Drift, Tarkir, and Edge of Eternities. These 3 are all Magic Multiverse. They take place within the Magic Multiverse. We can find characters we've seen before there. They're expanding upon the lore of Magic, etc., etc. The other ones, Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, and this one here, which is an unannounced Universes Beyond, these 3 are all Universes Beyond. They have nothing to do with the Magic Multiverse. You're not going to see Nissa showing up in Final Fantasy, etc. They're all very separate. They are going to be standard legal, however. Now, over on Bloggertog, we saw that they said, is 6 standard sets a year the new normal? And that is the current plan for standard, is 6 standard sets. Now, that does mean that potentially, you know, we get these 6 sets here, and then they add in a Commander Masters, which means that year we'd have 7 sets. But they did say it was going to be 6 tentpole sets per year from now on, which means that all 6 tentpole sets will be standard. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out there. I think it's more likely that we're going to see less of the Modern Horizons Commander Masters kind of products. So let's go through point number 1, MSRP returning. I'm starting with this one because it's an easy one. Nothing bad to say about this. It's generally going to be a win for the consumer. It means that you should be able to pick up product at the intended price, hopefully. One kind of note here is that Foundations is meant to be cheaper than Aether Drift and Beyond. Beyond as in Aether Drift and and Magic Multiverse sets beyond that, not Universes Beyond. So these here will be generally the price that you're going to be looking at for any Magic IP set. However, they also specifically say Aether Drift and other Magic IP sets will have the same MSRPs. So notice that says other Magic IP sets. It is specifically not talking about Universes Beyond products. Assumedly, Universes Beyond ones will have a different MSRP, or we will not see an MSRP for it, but we will get to that later on. Rotation happening at the start of the year instead of at fall. I have no issues with this. I think it's generally clearer. You know, it makes it clearer as to, hey, this set's been out since here's January 1st, and now it rotates out. Boom. I think that's a lot clearer than it's going to reset in the set that comes out in fall or around this date kind of thing. So on to the more controversial, not controversial, that's not the right word, the more aggravating ones. So 6 standard sets per legal. Now I will say this does not really affect me. I will get into how it affects commander players in a minute. It does not really affect me because I don't currently play standard. Standard is ran on Wednesdays at my local game store, and that is the day that I raid, so I can't go play standard. But I do think this is pretty awful for people who do play standard. It's potentially going to be a meta shift every 2 months, given the fact there's, 6 sets a year, 2 months between them. Now there is potentially going to be 19 sets in standard just prior to that rotation. And I think it goes down to 13 after that. And then you slowly build up over the course of the year and then go back to 13. Whether that's, new sets that you have to actually pick up and do stuff, or even just new singles that you need to pick up for your existing decks, whether the meta has completely shifted or whether there's just going to be a new mythic from this set that's just going to be making this deck insane, you still need to be picking stuff up potentially every 2 months. It's just a breakneck speed that won't be slowing down anytime soon, apparently. It is pretty crazy. Now, before we get into how this affects Commander players and stuff, because I do think that this 6 standard sets per year is not just limited to standard players. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers at the moment. And let me know how you guys want to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. Is that a giveaway? Is it, streaming or what? Let me know. So for Commander players, really not much is changing with this, like 6 standard sets per year. But we were already getting 6 sets per year of cards, right? So not much changes except for the Commander Masters Modern Horizons-y kind of sets. Given that most sets, so this is what someone asked Mark Rosewater, will there be straight to Pioneer set in the future? The current plan, as we announced at MagicCon, was most sets will be available to all formats and straight to Eternal formats, such as Commander decks. Notice how he specifically says Commander decks, and this part here says most booster sets. So I would say not straight to Pioneer. So while this comment was obviously about Pioneer, it's relevant to Commander as well. This here specifically talking about Commander decks and then most booster sets. So that means that most booster sets being for standard means that there won't be cards designed for Commander as much, because we won't get Commander Masters as much, etc. Right? So unless they're in Jumpstart, Commander decks, they're printed into standard, in which case, we also saw how Nadu went, and people loved Nadu, right? Where they printed a Commander-based card into Modern, and then it just, or some new thing they come up with, whether it's, in collector boosters, you get some Commander cards, or hopefully not that. So hopefully set boosters or something. I don't know. Standard sets are also generally not baseline, just not as strong as Commander Masters or Modern Horizons for Commander. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be some absolute bangers in them, but generally they're not going to be quite as strong. So we won't have stuff designed for us as Commander players as often, I think, according to this. But then again, you know, maybe we will. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, and given the fact that most of them will be going to all formats, it means that we're going to be taking standard cards into Commander, not being able to, like, you know, have the more powerful kind of Modern Horizons, Commander Masters kind of cards. So, next part. This part I have not really an issue with. And I know that this is probably one of the most controversial ones, and I know people absolutely are very frustrated about it. Now, I have no problem with Universes Beyond sets being legal in all formats, starting with, you know, Final Fantasy. I do have some issues with Universes Beyond, don't get me wrong, and I'll get to that in a minute, but no problems with this being standard legal. This can get more people into the game, makes it clearer what is legal, what isn't legal for newer players. I personally just don't mind the whole non-Magic IP cards mixing with Magic IP cards. If someone sits down next to me and they're playing a Lara Croft deck, I'm fine with that. If someone sits, you know, if I'm playing standard and someone was, you know, pulled out Thrall or something, or Jaina, or, like, you know, if they did a Warcraft one, or, you know, anything, I don't have a problem with that. I'm a fanboy of Universes Beyond, and I can understand why others aren't, though. I'm okay with that, and I understand that if you guys want to, you know, be frustrated about, that's personally fine, and I'm not going to, you know, be like, how dare you. I'm just personally not upset about it, but what I am upset about is the whole 50% of sets going forward being Universes Beyond and 50% Magic Multiverse. As I said, I am a Universes Beyond fanboy. I love Universes Beyond. But having 50% of sets coming out being Universes Beyond, I think is just way too much. Now, I could say 2 Universes Beyond sets and 4 Magic. I think that would be a good place to put it. I think that's fine. I would even be okay, and as I said, like, you know, as a Universes Beyond fanboy, being okay with 1 Universes Beyond set and then 5 Magic ones, and then, like, do like something like the Fallout decks every once in a while, where, you know, adding in another Universes Beyond thing, but it's not a set. Perfectly fine with that. So, as I said, this presents a number of different issues, though. For me personally, Magic is now just going to be more expensive because Universes Beyond products are more expensive. Innately, they are more expensive because they need to pay for the licensing, and, you know, some of the money goes towards Marvel or whatever. Like, you know, it's not the Magic. It's not all contained within Hasbro and Wizards. Then you need to start looking at, like, those external people who are potentially going to benefit from it too. You know, 2 full Universes Beyond sets is just going to stack up very quickly over the course of a year. And then when you look at, you know, say the next 3 years, you've got 6 Universes Beyond sets. It's just going to be bonkers. There's less Magic-centric lore as well, which I'll miss, even if there's something that, you know, has had misses lately and, you know, has been a bit disappointing lately in certain aspects. I think that less Magic-centric lore is a bit sad, and storylines are also just going to take longer, and it's going to be longer to revisit Planes. So, like, you know, Bloomburrow that's just come out, absolute fan favorite for people. It's going to be longer until we see Bloomburrow again, because of the fact that we are getting, you know, less Magic Multiverse sets now. So there's less opportunity to go visit it, whether it's, you know, directly visit it with an actual, you know, return to Bloomburrow, or whether it's whatever. I also didn't add on to this. They pushed back Return to Lorwyn for a Universes Beyond product, and I do not like that either. Like, pushing back something that already announced to then add in something that was, you know, already going to be controversial is just, yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my opinions? Are you unsubscribing because you absolutely hate my opinions and stuff? As I said, I understand that people are unhappy about this, and I fully support you expressing that in a healthy fashion and stuff. But, you know, I'm personally not upset about. So let's go through them one at a time. Annoyed about this, frustrated about this, do not like. I'm okay with this, no issues. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we're not going to get as many Commander Masters, Modern Horizons, those kinds of products anymore. And 6 standard sets per legal, while it doesn't personally affect me, I do not like, and I think that it's pretty bad for the future of the game. Rotation happening at the start, no issues, and MSRP returning, I love. So, I hope you guys had a great day, and goodbye.